Okay, I've got down to about right here. I don't dare go any farther because this is getting wet. Kind of figured it would because I chisel plowed this over here, and this hasn't been chisel plowed. But I got cleaned up over to around the stake and in between these trees. Very, very easy to get to this point now. Might come in here and see if I can't push these three little scraggly things out of the way. The fence is right there. See it? Ouch. There's a fence post right there. Should have brought my chainsaw, but I didn't. Here's the fence. And it goes straight on down. So, as you can see, as we go down, it gets wider. It gets wider for kind of several reasons. That elm needs to come down. Leave the hickory alone. Got a nice pile there. Got a big pile there shoved up. Kind of dirt, grass, weeds, limbs. I just got to find a place to put it. That's kind of my issue right now. And the farther it goes that way, it gets softer. There's one of the old fence posts standing right there. So if I can come down through here and just put, oh, there's the fence there. I love it when it goes between two trees like this. Pin oak and a locust that was dead. It's like that big ash right over there. It's dead, and I'm going to have to bring it down. And that's going to be a fun one, I can tell you that. Because he done told me if it's dead and such, get rid of it. This tree right here, I'm pretty sure I'm going to cut down and get out of here because of this. It's a pin oak, pretty much useless. I don't mind a good tree growing, but if it's junk, get rid of it. Don't need it. It's all this crap growing right in here. I need to shove it out. That plum or choke cherry, whatever, it needs to go. At this point, that fence is right in front of that pin oak in front of me. And kind of goes from here. Now, I said that I dammed this up a couple of years ago. I did. Right there. And that has completely changed this whole area right in here. For the good. It's just busted up concrete chunks and rocks, and I just stuck it in there, and it is doing exactly what I wanted it to do. Would like to get rid of that ash, and I think I'm going to have to cut this locust down. I think it's dead or dying by the looks of it. Hate to cut that hickory down, but I'll see about it. Kind of want to leave that one too. But the plums, the choke cherries, elm need to go. Pin oak need to go. These I'll leave in here because they are slowing the water down. Now, that big tree is on our side. And it's a straight line up there, but trees are growing right on the side of the creek sometimes, and sometimes they're on our side of the fence. If I can get in here some. Yeah, see, fence is on the back side of it. And you can see a post standing right over there. So, know where the property line is, fence line. It's just, this is where literally the road was, where I'm standing. And all these trees, even this outside edge doesn't grow much. But guess I better get back at it. Sorry about the wind noise. I gotta find some place to push all that stuff to now. That may not be as easy as I thought. Well, we'll be back here in a bit, guys. I'll get some action of the skid steer action and try to figure out where to put this mess. So we'll be back here in a minute, guys. Now, guys, I want to ask you a question. What do you guys consider junk trees? That kind of sounds like a crazy question. But to me, I classify a junk tree as anything you cannot use for lumber. Pin oak's a prime example. You can make pallet wood out of it, something along that lines, but as far as structural to build with, you can't do it. It's useless. Elm is another one I consider a junk tree because I've never heard of anybody cutting any elm and sawing it up for lumber. Sassafras, those choke cherry or plum or whatever you want to call it. I'm trying to look around and see what's all here. What I consider good trees: maples, good ash, hickory, white oak, red oak, black oak, shingle oak, catawba. Catawba is a hardwood. Deplane. But as far as junk trees, it's kind of, kind of runs the gamut. We don't have any poplar that I know of around here. I got cottonwood, and everybody says cottonwood's pretty useless. Yeah, it's kind of in that, what do you consider a junk tree? Pretty much useless as far as a tree growing for lumber. That's a sassafras right over there. That's elm, 2 elms right there, and I can't. Those are the hardest to push trees there are. You got to dig the root ball. Something as big around as that crap right there, say 2 or 3 inches in diameter, I can't push it out with a skid steer. Ain't no way, no how, it ain't happening. Nasty stuff. But yeah, put in the comments, what do you consider junk trees? I have a bunch on this place, just like that one you're looking at. If something happened to the top and they grow a humongous limb out and up. Look over there, there's one right in front of me in that back line. And there's several more up through there. Yeah, there's two. I can see two up there by the front of the woods, just like it. And I know there's more. And it makes those. That's a tree. You know exactly which way it's going to go, but it's dangerous as all get out to cut, because you do know exactly what it's going to do and where it's going to go. And the problem is, you put a notch on it and go to start cutting it, it will barber chair right now, because you've got such a tremendous amount of weight out there. And it just, pin oaks are probably one of the worst woods I know of to do that, and man, it'll do it right now too. I cut one down like this, except the limb went about 45 feet out in the field, but it grew with more of a lean, and it got to the top, and there was a limb that went straight up to the top. So you know where it's going to go, but there's no safe way to cut it. This will be the same way. All the weight's over here. You got a leaner. It's going to go that way. There's no way to stop it. So how do you cut it down safely? And the answer is, ain't no good way to do it that I know of. I even wrapped a chain around the other tree that I cut down like that, and it was as big as that next big one. And she came apart in spectacular fashion. Well, I'll be back here in a bit, guys. Okay, little skid steer action, I hope. Well, hi guys. I don't know where it cut off. I got to going and kind of forgot about it. But I'm down to my pile down there. And she's a right acceptable 7-8 feet tall. Not completely done with this. I need to come back here and trim limbs like that. Cut this crap off because it's over the fence, in the fence, so I can't really, you know. There are some chunks of logs laying here as such that, well, I got to figure out what to do with. Get that out of there, then I can slip in between there and clean this crap out. For the most part. Same with this, get this mess on cleared. And just kind of touch it up Like I say, I got a nice pile of crap down there. More sticks and trash and leaves than anything else, but there is some dirt in it. So, it can rot down. Like I say, that pin oak tree with that limb coming out's got to go. Can't tell if that's an ash or what it is there. Hickory next to it. I'd like to leave the hickory be. Get rid of that one. Get rid of this. Get rid of those. If it's a good tree like a hickory, I'll leave it be. Anything else, it can go. Like them two elms right there. I tried to push those out when they were real small, and you can't do it. Not with a skid steer. But it gives me basically 20, maybe 24 feet. About where the skid steer is sitting is about how far I farmed over to, because let's face it, nothing grows in here. It's too shaded. Got to go up, get this done, and then I'll clean up over there, which basically the same thing. Did find a stump that I remember cutting years ago. Kind of when I cut one off, it's an elm stump, and I cut it off, and I mean I cut it off at the ground, because they got to rot out. I'm kind of standing here looking at all the trees I need to cut. It's like, good Lord. Get up here and we'll talk about the skid steer. Hang on. Okay, a little about the 4400. I know there's a lot of you guys say I ought to, junk that thing, go buy you a good Bobcat, go buy this, go buy that. Well, I don't need to. Okay, this does everything I want it to do. Yes, it is old. Yes, it is slower than the new ones. But it's paid for. That's the best part about it. It was paid for the day we bought it. And it's probably been one of the best things we've ever bought. Now, true, we spent money on it over the years, fixing bearings, fixing hoses, put a set of tires on it. But it's paid for itself 7 times over. Or 10 times over, with this thing, it'll sit for month, 2 months untouched. Just start it up, move it, or something along that line. But when it comes time to use it, it's ready to go. It's not what kind of machine you have or how new machine you have. It's how you use the machine that you do have. Yes, it is older. Yes, it is slower. But looks like it does a pretty good job to me. And that's all that counts. If I'm happy with it, hey, that's great. That's a no-brainer, man. You buy what you can afford and you run it. I really didn't think we needed this when Dad decided to go look at it. But it's turned out to be the handiest thing on this farm. I can tell you that for a fact. I do more with this machine than I do a tractor. If you had a good loader on a tractor, it can't do what this does. Hands down, bar none. Now, if you got a brand new 150 horsepower tractor, an 8-foot bucket and all this stuff, heavy duty, yeah, it'll do the same thing. Not as convenient, not as quick, not as easy. But for what we get for it, you can't replace it. You try to buy that machine right now for $3,000 and see how far it goes. And it basically looked then like it looks now. Yep, I did put a bucket on it. I put tires on it. But the paint is just like the day we bought it. So it's a good one as far as I'm concerned. Easy enough to get parts for, work on, and best of all, it's paid for. That's the part I like the best. Well guys, I'm going to call it a day now. I got some other things to do, but this was one thing I wanted to get done. Because this was kind of the nastiest stretch, other than over there in the woods, going back. And this will make the survey crew's job, oh, so much easier. So, we'll see you next time, guys. And as always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And, well, like I say, little 4400, she might be little, she might be old, but she sure gets the job done. So we'll see you next time, guys.